Aw.
What's good, party people? This is the Woods and Wait podcast, our New Year's extravaganza. It's not quite the New Year, but I guess we're celebrating early. I'm according to Woods. She's Claudia Wade, and Mick Mac says, "Baby, I missed the last stream because it was 2 a.m. in Australia." Sad face, crying emoji. So yeah,
They did. They died
who died?
in my headphones. Yeah.
R.I.P. Your headphones.
Well, my RP, my pod.
It's so hard to say goodbye to your AirPods. There you go.
It don't even work. So
Well, um, it's
my pods aren't working. My computer isn't working.
it's okay. My mic never works. So,
Fun times. Fun times.
well, my my stuff don't work either. I'll let you think about what the stuff that doesn't work is.
It sounds like a personal problem.
Anywho, so New Year's, what are you looking forward to in the new year?
Nothing. We're staying at home. We are
The whole year?
working.
The whole year?
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, you're staying home the whole year? So it's COVID again?
That I know of. I work from home. I'm at home. Did you find that ring, Ingrid?
Huh?
They were showing me something and then it fell.
Oh, hey, that sounds like foreplay.
It can be sometimes, not this time,
Dun,
unfortunately.
dun, dun. Yeah. So, wait, are you actually talking about the actual whole year, or you talking about New Year's Eve, New Year's Day?
Oh, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I'm not doing shit. I'm tired of doing things. I've hosted the last 3 days.
You
So
you posted
hosted,
like you posted pictures? You posted
hosted,
hosted.
hosted.
You
I
hosted.
hosted New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I mean, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, after Christmas Day.
Wow. What
3 days.
happens after Christmas Day?
I had a barbecue.
Okay. What happens the 2 days prior?
It's Christmas and then Christmas Eve.
Okay. So what did you do Christmas Eve?
We did breakfast. We did a brunch.
In bed?
We did we did brunch and games
Brunch and
for
games?
for Christmas Eve.
Okay. That sounds like a game in itself.
So that was lit for sure.
Wait, like marijuana?
No,
Oh, okay. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that.
like it was awesome.
Okay, cool. I didn't know what was being lit. I was candle, marijuana, the tobacco, wacky
The
tobacco.
party was lit.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I also saw that the Inglewood family lost its home because their house party was lit. Um, I'm assuming that's not you, right?
Negative.
Okay. I mean, if it's a negative, they had a house one day, and it was negative that they didn't have a house because their
Well,
house
what
was lit.
happened to that house?
It was lit.
I know why. What happened?
A fire.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. But what happened?
The roof. The roof
The
was
roof
on
was on fire. We're
fire.
going, we're
You
going to
fell right
hell.
into it.
We're going to
You,
hell.
I mean, I
I'm
guess
done.
is hell lit? I feel like it would be.
It can be, I'm sure, if we make it.
If it's not, that's like California without surfing. That's like Texas without, I don't know, guns and cowboy hats and cowboy boots. Like if
That would
hell
be
isn't
very
hot,
lit.
then what the hell is anything for?
How come I can't turn this down, like the volume?
Uh, I don't know. I I was saying prior there's a settings little widget.
I found it.
Yeah. So
It
if
was in
you
my phone. Everyone's asking me why we're yelling.
uh in my head we're not yelling,
No,
but
no, it's my phone was really, really loud.
oh, okay, cool. I mean, you getting it live and loud up in here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, okay, so Christmas Eve, you played games and you went to brunch.
No, I made brunch for about 20-ish people.
Wow.
I think it was
Okay.
about, it had to be.
Okay. And
And
then
then
Christmas Day,
Christmas Day, we chilled.
like you were on ice. Did you
Like,
all
what do
sit
you
on
mean do
ice?
Chris?
I feel like when you say you
Oh, I
chilled,
made chicken soup for Christmas Day.
chicken noodle
So,
soup with a
yeah.
baseball bat.
So Christmas Eve,
Okay.
I did brunch and I was so tired and everyone's so tired. So we went to Astro's and got burgers from Astro's for Christmas Eve dinner.
It's funny that you mention that because when most people are like, "Oh, you're from Inglewood, what is there to eat?"
Astro's, bro.
Well, I say it's the ABCs of Inglewood dining. Do you know what those are?
Astro's, Bruno's, and
Fuck Bruno's.
yeah, I don't
Honestly,
like that place.
yeah,
What's the B?
it's. Sorry, uh, there was a nut in my throat. Yeah, that's exactly how it sounded. No,
That's what she said.
I. Wow, I mean, if she's got nuts, I mean, might be a little bit different. Might be a little bit different.
Is it though? It.
I would know, and Mazel tov to them. I would say, but I mean,
So
um,
Astros.
and it's either Bravos or Brawley Hut, depending on
Oh,
which.
Bravos. I've never been to Brawley Hut.
I just went for the first time. I want to say 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I went to Brawley Hut 3 weeks ago, and I had a breakfast burrito, and it was amazing. But in terms of like, if you go to Astros, right, Astro Burger
Mm-hmm.
on La Brea and Edgewood in Inglewood, you've essentially went to Brawley Hut. They have almost the same menu. I would even argue that Astros probably has more items, more food items than Brawley Hut does.
Where is Brawley Hut?
It's on right off of Crenshaw and Imperial Highway. It has like a umbrella.
Yeah. Picturing it.
You can put it in the Google machine. I mean, the reason why we didn't really go there is because that's like the
It's pretty far.
well, it's the monkey slide part of town. And for
Yeah.
those who don't know, like we are, you know, alumnus of Inglewood High School. So, uh,
You had
right.
Carl's.
Pardon?
You said you had Carl's if you went to Inglewood.
Yes. No, we definitely had Carl's, but I mean, we also had Charlie's, which to me has the best nachos, or at the very least, the best value for nachos in all of
Mm-hmm.
Inglewood. $7, you get like 3 pounds of nachos and whatever choice of protein.
Did you
It's
guys
tremendous.
ever go? Did you guys ever jump over the fence and go get your bag of fries from across the street?
It
That
wasn't
still happened when you guys were in high school?
well. Actually, you're talking about that one like spot in between the what is it, the Curtis Tucker whatever the fuck uh the medical facility, right? And then
No. No, no, no. You know how in the backfield
the
of Inglewood
backfield.
High,
Okay.
If you jump that fence, that little shopping center right across,
Okay.
it's not medical. It was literally right across, and it had in the well, I guess by then it probably wasn't, but it had this little store, like little convenience store in the corner that made seasoned fries in a brown bag, and
Okay.
everyone would like hop the fence, cross the street, go into that place, order your fries, and jump back. And you'd see everyone running around with their bag of fries because they were only $1,
Right.
but it was like a brown bag of fries. And then security would stop there, and that's how they would catch everyone on the way back in because we had already gone out. And on the way jumping in, they would catch you ditching to
Ah.
go get your dollar bag of fries. But I'm guessing by that time it wasn't there anymore because you
No.
obviously don't know about it.
No, no, no. I mean, there was a spot in, like I said, in between the Curtis Tucker whatever and the. It was in between the medical. Like basically, it's like, if you had welfare and you couldn't afford like real health care, you went to this spot.
That's
Like you
by the
would give it
library, right?
right. So in between that and then in between that shopping center that was right across, there's a little spot. Now it's like a Mexican place,
It might be the
but
same spot then.
it could have been because it. I mean, my 4 years at Inglewood, it changed a couple times, so that could be the spot. But it
Hmm.
like theoretically, it would be an alley if they didn't make it into whatever the hell it was, right?
Yeah, no,
So
this was like that little shopping center in the corner. Because
yeah,
you know how when you go towards that back end, it's a T street.
hmm yeah, yeah, yeah,
So Inglewood is at the end of the T, and on this side is that little tiny shopping center, and that market was in the corner.
yeah. See, the spot that I'm talking about is it wasn't quite in the shopping center.
Yeah.
It was right before it.
Oh, okay. Then it was a different spot then.
Yeah, because by me coming into England, that shopping center was pretty much dead. Like there was a
Yeah.
couple of like 99 plus cent store bootleg 99-cent store, but it was pretty much gone.
Yeah. No, when we were, that's what we used to do. We used to, one person would hop over and go get like 4, 5, 6 bags, and everyone would have their seasoned fries, and that's where everyone went. Unless you were being bold and going to Carl's Jr. and walked all the way up.
You call that being bold? If I jump the fence, like for me, staying in school, kids, please don't remember this, but it was it was like they were tempting me, right? Like because right within footsteps of Inglewood High, right? You could either walk to La Brea and catch the 40, and
Huh?
that led you to either the $3 theater and or the South Bay Galleria,
Right.
or you walked directly across the street on Manchester and you caught the 110 to either, you know,
Go to Santa
Marina
Monica
Venice. Right, exactly. The 110 to the 3, right? So, yeah,
for a
like,
quarter.
yeah, 100%. So I wasn't even, like, if I jumped the fence, you weren't seeing me that day. That was it. Up until, like, my dad, um, God, I can't remember what it was, but my dad found out and he told Melendez. And then Sarge was like, Woods, you gotta, that's a horrible, like, Puerto Rican accent.
Right.
But he's like, Woods, you better go to class or you're not going to graduate. And I was like, oh, okay.
One
And
day we all jumped the fence and they caught like 5 or 6 of us. And I told one of the girls, go get Melendez, go get Melendez. And he got us all out.
oh, really?
Yeah. Like he made it seem like we were gonna be punished like no other, and took us back to his office or to the ROTC room, and he did nothing.
Wow.
Well, he obviously gave you a lecture, but it was like Like he made it seem like, damn, we should just get in trouble by the school than him.
Right.
And when we got to the office, we were like, oh, okay, we won't do it again.
Okay. So with me, I remember there was probably more times. Um, I'm making myself look more angelic than I actually was.
Oh,
Like I didn't get
100%.
into yeah, I didn't
Likewise.
okay. Like I didn't get into like drugs or drinking or like messing around with people's nether regions. That
Right.
happened a lot. Uh, but what I would do is just like I don't know, like mischief. There might have been a I don't know, like a national event. One would even say an international event that happened on not like two numbers after 7-11. The, not the I'm trying not to get pulled off of YouTube. So if you theoretically, Claudia, if you're looking at 7-11, right,
Uh-huh.
and then two numbers after the seven, what would that be? There's a day that we will
9,
never forget.
9/11.
Yeah, that might be the one, right? So I remember there was
Didn't we
because
have this conversation last week about
no no no
9/11?
no no this is actually an addendum to that deal.
Ah,
Because that was like where were we? What I'm about to say, I mean, theoretically, I'm past the statutes of limitations, right? So I think it's a decade. Okay. I don't think it was criminal, right? But so
but
what essentially happened was I was okay. Uh so I had been my freshman year how like there was historically the darkies and the not so darkies would go and scrap theoretically um during Cinco de Mayo, right?
uh-huh.
But by the time it got to us, we just kind of played like we were getting into a fight, and then we would all just chill at the Inglewood swap meet.
Okay.
Okay, so I was like, I can do better than that. So it was one day that we were dressed in our class
Mhm.
A's, and I actually got in trouble for something else, which I can't
Mhm.
even remember because the other thing was so bad. So what ended up happening was I was no, actually, it was the thing. Okay, so I was in the band room. Don't know why I was in the band room because that was like
Banned.
yeah, that was a weird like if you're an ROTC, you don't get caught in the band room.
No, sir.
But there were, towards the end, the integration started, and there were some ROTC like Liliana Kobian. She was one that was both in ROTC and in band, which was weird. But
Because you couldn't do that.
so I think the freshmen that would end up going and graduating in '02,
Mhm.
the year before me, for whatever reason, they were able to do it. So there was a couple of like tweeners, right?
Was Milena still there?
Yeah, dude, like Pee Wee. Pee Wee was that he was in the drum whatever, and then he was in RTC. Like there was off the top of my head, there was at least a dozen that went, and then it after I graduated in '03, it happened more and more. So theoretically, I was in the band room, and a couple of my other friends were like
Mhm.
smoking weed, and I was like, that's child's play, and I also didn't want to smoke weed then. So w- was like, "Oh, what's that phone for?" It's like, "Oh, it's to call the main office. It's the teacher's phone." And for
Mhm.
whatever reason, like that that room, nobody was in there at all. So, and it wasn't actually the band room. It was one of the like what ended up becoming the choir room before we actually had a choir. So, I was like, "Let me use that phone." I went ahead and used that phone.
Mhm.
And what was the thing that you could not say after that fateful day that we could never forget? So
Bomb.
yeah, so I got on the phone.
Or
It was like,
boom.
yeah. So I got on the phone and I was like, ah, that word.
Okay.
Okay, dude. Inglewood PD, Inglewood Unified School District PD. Everybody swarmed, evacuated, all that jazz, and us like we all just kind of booked it, right? I don't know how.
Mhm.
Maybe it's like three green men running down the. Because for those who don't know, the band room, I think it was like the FA building.
Yeah. It's
It,
upstairs.
right. It was upstairs above the teacher's parking lot, right?
Right.
So to get from there, we actually had to get up and down like a gigantic flight of stairs.
Right.
So maybe it was like three dudes, at least three dudes in army uniform, ROTC uniform, running and booking it. And then knowing that that phone went to that classroom. I don't know how they knew, but they knew. And then I got ratted out by the other two. So I go, and this is at the time of Dr. Winston. Did you have
Mhm.
Dr. Winston?
No.
Okay. That dude was wild. There's another, remind me to bring up another Dr. Winston story. But um, I got pulled into the office, right? And I'm, like, it wasn't me. Like, it couldn't be me. I'm in like ROTC. Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, according to Melendez, we were like fourth in line to go fight in the war. Why would I say that?
Uh-huh.
So I saw that the pressure was in, and they weren't biting, they weren't taking the bait. So when they were like, "Hey, what's your name, kid?" I was like, and I won't mention the name, but like it was somebody that I didn't necessarily get along with at the time. So they called that dude's mom, and I tried my best to sound like him, which went kind of like, "Hi, mom," and she was like, "Oh, that's not my son." And before they could turn around, this is at a time where we had two lunches. Well, I
Mhm.
heard the second bell of the lunch, whatever, and I just integrated with the rest of the second lunchers. Yeah, and
Oh
then
wow.
my they figured out it was me. Then my dad shows up, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm dead!" Right?
Mhm.
But crazy enough, I don't know how Melendez found out, but I guess they were like, "Oh, it's one of your cadets or whatever," and I didn't even really know Melendez at that. Like, I had, or I think freshman year I was in ROTC late, so I didn't really have like the personal relationship with him. But
Mhm.
yeah, but what ended up happening was like he and my dad convinced me, like, "Oh, I didn't do it. I was in ROTC uniform." Yeah, so there you go. Yeah,
You're just doing your little mischief in uniform. That's
it,
not the first time.
that I did it, or anybody did it.
Anybody.
Oh, of course. Like, I mean, I remember going to. It was,
I remember
okay, go. You go.
And I graduated in 98, but I remember 97, every year there's a school prank.
Right.
And most of it was TP, shit you can get rid of, come bring down, whatever. This year, somehow, some way, they tagged all the buildings,
Okay.
but you know how the rooftops at Inglewood are like flat and
Yeah.
then another piece of building?
Yeah.
They managed to get those parts. So no, there was no ladder to get up there.
Okay.
So they couldn't clean it up right away.
Okay.
They had to figure out how to climb up there to clean up.
Okay.
And they have already canceled their school trip
Okay.
and their graduation because they managed to tag every single building
Wow.
at the top.
I mean,
Now, if you think about it,
yeah.
there's only one sort of person and people that have equipment to climb,
I'm not gonna make my assumptions, but
right?
I,
So
yeah.
I'll just leave it to that.
Okay.
And that was, I think, one of the biggest pranks to date
Huh.
because it took like 2 months to clean it up because no one can figure out how to get up there
Yeah, that makes
because
sense.
there because there was no getting up there. And then they managed to get on the inside, I think, of the pool
Oh yeah.
building, and they
W-
did the inside of the pool building.
So that happened during. I can't remember what year it was. I want to say it's probably even like it definitely wasn't senior year because the pool ended up getting opened because we had a swim team for a little bit, right? So um
There's a swim team when I was there,
okay, so by the
so it's always open.
my freshman year there was no swim team. Like that was just a relic. We didn't know what the hell it was. Like it was something
Hmm.
that nobody talked about, like Petrosian, all the PE, whatever, because technically it was in their department, right? Like, and I think I
Yeah.
was one of the last classes to actually be able to dress in the locker room, which was
Uh-huh.
dilapidated by that point before they completely shut it down, right? So,
I
but
used to love the pool so much, and I had a guy that I had a crush that had PE seventh period, and they
okay,
would always go in the pool. And so I ditched my entire ninth grade year, seventh period. And then, or was it my senior year? It could have been 10. It was my junior or senior year.
okay,
But they had called my dad and told him all that I had been truant this entire seventh
year,
period
yeah,
and then a bunch of other periods.
okay,
So I was like, no. My dad was really, really strict. So he was like, he cursed the faculty out because how dare you tell me that my daughter, that's an angel, has been doing this and blah, blah, blah. So they said, okay, we're going to print out the truancies and she has to get it cleared by
oh,
every single teacher.
I remember that, yeah,
I said, okay. And my first period, the comment was so vague that I was like, no, it's literally saying we're good. So they believed it. And I think there was like one period here that I was like, I have my notes right here. Let's
yeah,
hear.
right,
Okay, fine, blah, 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 blah. And then came my seventh period. And
uh,
she was like, I've never seen you in here. And I was like, dude, I've been here. Like, look, here's my whole notebook. And you signed it because you know how sometimes you have to turn in your notebooks for that week.
right, yeah, yeah, and
But it
have the
wasn't
season
my notebook, it was someone else's notebook that I
get
used.
points, right on,
And she was like, "Oh, I guess you were here." I was like, "Yeah, remember I even asked you a question about this?" And I was the one that raised my hand. She's like, "Oh, okay." She signed off on everything.
Wow, 10
I was
points.
dope.
10 puntos on that one. Right
Yeah.
on.
So my whole truancy card that had like maybe 10 truancies,
Yeah.
I was able to clear them all out. I was like, "See, it was there. It's just they must have made a mistake. It's fine."
Wow, okay. Yeah,
So,
no. So I remember, I think it was our, no, it wasn't ours. It was the graduating class of '02, right? They discovered that there was a pool.
mhm.
And once that, lid got open, shit, we're not, no, it's not being closed down. So for the next like year and a half, that was the spot, and for whatever reason, they kept it up, right? It wasn't like the pool was drained or whatever.
No.
So yeah, so it
Yeah.
was like they were enticing us, and it was like a fucking Olympic size swimming
Oh
pool.
yeah, it's a nice pool.
Yeah. Oh God, did you ever go off the high dive?
No, because I wasn't in that class. I just stitched to it.
So I want to say it was either my junior or senior year.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I can't even remember if it was Melendez or Wells. At which, if it were Wells, when you figured out what happened with him, like it's kind of creepy. But one of them basically got
Didn't he hook
access.
up with some students?
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna confirm nor deny.
Joseph, did someone hook up with some students in ROTC?
There's a possibility.
There's a possibility, he
Yeah,
said.
theoretically speaking, yes, 100%.
Theoretically.
Well, okay. Hmm. Yo, okay. Hey, what's up, bro? See, that's Jose or Joey Castro. He and I graduated together. He's the reason why I know Claudia. So, theoretically speaking, did you ever get a girlfriend and maybe have your instructor go like, if you don't treat her right, I might bang your girlfriend? Did you get that? Theoretically speaking.
I will not confirm or deny.
Okay, 10 points. It wasn't just, it was everybody. And this particular person, he was just like, hey, your mom will look good. And I was like, dude, my girlfriend and my mom? What the hell are you doing, sir? But yeah, that's the swag that guy had.
Swag indeed.
Theoretically speaking. I'm just saying.
Theoretically speaking.
Yeah, 100%.
Melendez did the same thing with my mom too.
I don't know.
I remember when Melendez met my mom, she was like, "Oh, your mom is kind
Yeah.
of hot," and I was like, "Stay away, Melendez."
Well, it's funny, right? Because like one got caught and one didn't get caught.
Right, I guess.
And the one that didn't get caught put out way more numbers than the one that got caught.
I guess. I don't know. I never went in that deep as far as that goes.
Again, I mean, one is no longer here, so I'm not gonna say.
Maybe that one, I don't know if it happened during my years. Maybe it did. Who knows? Because those rumors were never rumors when we were there.
Oh no, it wasn't even rumor. Yeah, I remember.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe this happened after my years, because during my years there was no rumor of.
Oh wait, so are you saying that you
Mhm.
confirmed that, or there was just no action going on at all?
I don't know, because it was never rumored to be that.
Okay, so theoretically speaking,
That must have happened after I graduated.
okay, cool.
Yeah, because when I was there, I've never heard of,
Okay,
per se.
so let me pose a scenario to you.
Okay.
Let's just say I might have had a aesthetically appeasing teacher.
Okay.
I might have also had a girl that I liked that would
Okay.
TA around uh, the ROTC building.
Okay.
Okay, and obviously I had my mom who worked at City Hall, right?
Uh-huh.
So in theory, um, two of those theoretical people got added to the notch, the bedpost notch of a particular person.
Really?
Right.
I heard all of that after I left. I heard
So
stories of it after I left, but not during. So I'm
do you
going to assume
assume, okay, to make an ass
that
out of you and
it
me?
was that it was very well kept during our years versus
Okay.
later on.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I could see that. But also, uh, hmm. So I, re- I mean, did you guys do the 5 o'clock in the morning 3 times a week?
Yeah. 3 times a week.
Yeah, dude. Like by the time Joey can tell you, um,
Well, okay. So my dad was extremely strict, so I
okay.
wasn't able to do the 5 o'clock stuff. So even if it was, I was not able to go to it.
So I remember like being so fat, and that was a way to kind of get me unfat. Like it
Mhm.
was a way to unfat fuck myself, right? Um,
Uh-huh.
and I was also always respectful towards the females because I had like there were some girls that went to that school. They would, you know, R and then the ape. That's what they would call if you hit on them. If you put R with, if you put R with ape, you know that word.
Okay.
So if you went to go ask them out and they didn't like you, they would scream R in the ape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was just like, oh no, like like that's sacrilege. Like, oh my gosh.
Right.
But 5 o'clock in the mornings, there were females that would like if again, fat me, if you're doing a push up in like theoretically like soft dirt, they would go under you and said, "You better not touch my frontals."
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to again that me trying to do a push up, not to land on uh gal.
On some little whore.
Yeah, and they'd
Got
be
it.
laughing, and makeup would be like done. So it'd throw you off the game. Innuendos would be made.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah.
I know, man.
So that's. I mean, wait, hold on. Can you hear me now? Yeah, there we go. In retrospect, um, that wouldn't fly today, right? And I'm not saying it. I mean, I didn't have a problem with it then. I'm not trying to out anybody or whatever. I got actually.
Mm-hmm.
I so when I ditched regular school, I would always show up to the 5 o'clock thingies.
Right.
So yeah, but that happened. But and that is child's play compared to what I heard would happen. And I even saw pictures of what would happen in the back of the band bus
Mm-mm.
when they went for tournaments. And it's not tournaments like it was actually tournaments or away Inglewood football. or basketball games and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but they were getting down.
I remember we had and I don't blame the teachers all the
Okay,
way
all right,
because, especially, I'm gonna sound really sexist on my
okay,
own sex, but
uh,
I there was a male teacher that was there one semester only. I
okay,
think 1 year, maybe one semester. I don't remember, but he was hot,
okay,
young guy, hot dude, and I think he taught algebra or a math,
okay,
and he would be there doing his job, doing whatever he needed to do, and then you had some little floozy girl
mm,
go up to his desk and like, oh my god, I dropped my marker or my pen, and like sprout all in front of him.
uh, okay,
And then there would be the, oh, can you come help me? And then
mm,
you know, the touching of sort.
hmm,
And I remember that I had met this dude, my friend and I had met this dude online, and we ditched to go hang out with that dude.
okay,
And he was an older dude,
all right,
same age as our teacher.
teacher,
Oddly
okay,
enough, somehow
they knew
we
each other.
found out that they knew each other,
Oh Jesus Christ!
and he had me stay late. And he's like, I know that you
Oh
know.
boy, yeah, yeah,
And I was like, yeah, 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 we're good. Like, I know.
okay,
So at this point, he's like, we're good. We know each other. We know what's up. So he was like, I can't stand this fucking school. I'm gonna get fucking caught up. These little bitches over here throwing themselves. If I
wow.
haven't had all this cooter in my face, like
I
he was like, dude, I'm done, bro. Like I'm done. And the only
wow.
reason I know this stuff is because we found out that we knew the same people and we were like all smoking out, doing our own shit. So he was like, you're not like a typical student. I can talk to you because I know you know people
Yeah,
and you ain't
yeah,
gonna say shit. But he was like, he's like, I can't come back the next semester. I'm gonna fucking catch a case.
nah,
Like,
yeah,
do you know how hard it is to not pick one of
yeah.
these little whores and fuck the shit out of them?
Oh man.
Because it was always thrown in his face.
Oh
Because he
man.
was like, just chocolatey looking, smooth face,
Oh
young
wow.
dude, new teacher. It wasn't like all the old teachers that were there at Inglewood High, right? It wasn't like the dinosaurs.
Yeah, yeah.
This was some young, buff, chocolatey looking ass dude. And he was like, he was only there one semester. He couldn't do it.
Okay, so
So
funny. Oh
I
god.
don't blame it all on the teach because I know shit like that was going
No, 100%.
down.
So I okay, so I can't remember what year, but you had to take a foreign language. I want to say sophomore year, right? That was
Uh-huh.
like the first year you had to take a foreign language. And they put me, and this was actually the first time that I actually had a class in the main building. And the main building of Inglewood High, that's still there to this day, is literally been there 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the foreign language was on the basement floor.
That is now closed.
Oh, is it? Is it really?
I remember I went a couple of years ago to get my transcript and it's completely closed.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean
I
that
mean,
makes
it
sense.
should be closed. That shit is
Yeah.
100 years old.
Yeah. 100%. And like no upkeep or what have you.
No, I'm sure it has asbestos up the yin yang.
Oh, 100%. Speaking of asbestos up the yin yang. So yeah, I had the foreign language teacher. That also like paired with freshman year where I had like um I shit you not, and you probably I don't know if you remember, but did you have Miss Nipple?
What did she teach? French?
Life science.
I would ask if she was a white lady, but they all were.
I
Unless
mean, yeah. I mean, yes. So, so Miss Nipple, do you know what her first name was?
oh God, what is it?
Sandra. But
Sandra Nipple?
do you know what they called her?
What?
Sandy. Sandy Nipple. I shit you not. I shit you not. It, she had a brother.
Uh
And
huh.
again, I shit you not. Do you know what the brother's name was?
No.
Harry.
No way.
Yeah, way. So way.
So he was Harry Nipple.
Yeah, Harry Nipple and Sandy Nipple. The nipples.
Oh, I could not wait till get married.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think that, I don't know.
Unless you change your name to Bush.
I mean, Nipple Bush. I feel like there's a town in New Jersey that's Nipple Bush.
Sandy
Anywho,
Nipple Bush.
yeah, Sandy Nipple Bush. So, so, I they put me in German class
Uh huh.
with this lady who had she might have been the lighter persuasion, and she might have had a afro
Okay.
mullet, but she might be
Caucasian.
yes, 100% cool. Um, and she would just talk to me in German. I was like, "Fuck, I don't know German. Like you're supposed to teach me and whatever."
Uh huh.
So I went up to Mr. Village. That was my homeboy. Like, and for those who
Mr.
don't know,
Velaz. Mr. Velaz is the greatest person ever.
he's the best, like literally the best. And for those who
What
don't
happened to
know,
Mr. Velaz?
I don't know, but I know what happened before Mr. Village. So Lance Village, our counselor, right? Basically, because you would have the same counselor,
For four
all 4 years,
years.
right?
Yeah.
So if you graduated 98, that does make sense. I'm the next class after you.
Right.
So we both had the same, because I enter in
Uh-huh.
99 and I had him to the '03. So, and then my sister actually had him for the couple years she was at Inglewood. So, Lats Valach, right? He had the distinction of essentially his grandparents went to Inglewood and they married
Uh-huh.
and then had kids, and both sets of kids, like both sets of his grandparents, went to Inglewood High.
Uh-huh.
They had kids and also sent them to Inglewood High.
Right.
And then here comes Mr. Vlach and his wife. They meet at Inglewood High.
Right.
So that's Mr. Vlach. And he
Right.
was just amazing. So I go into Mr. Vlach's office and
I
I was
think
like,
he was like one of the only people that cared
yeah,
to listen.
I would say him and Melendez for sure.
Yeah, to listen.
Yeah,
And Mr.
100%.
Johnson, the arts teacher.
I think he might have been gone by the time. You know what? Actually, Mr. Hafley.
I
Hafley
think
gave
I
a shit.
remember Hafley.
He almost looked like a mole. Oh, I got a Hafley story for you. So, um, I want to say like I was in my senior year, the first year that Arnold Schwarzenegger became governor, right?
Oh, God.
So,
Uh-huh.
the year before it, um, when you take like the uh, standardized testing or whatever, if you scored in the top percentile, especially junior senior year, you got like a G to go towards your um, like if you went to a junior college, right?
Mhm.
So I remember like Hafley's class that year. I want to say it was my senior year, and Hafley's class was my homeroom, right?
Mhm.
And that's where they were like, oh, blah blah blah, top 10 percentile, whatever the fuck, right? Or top 5 percentile in the state.
Uh-huh.
So they're reading off the usual suspects, like the people that were valedictorian and salutatorians and shit
Yeah.
like that, and
Did
whatever.
your valedictorian ever amount to be anything?
I don't know. Our our most handsome. Okay, so our most personality, right, or the funniest. There was a male and female. I don't know what happened to the female, but the male was Lawrence Jackson, who went on to USC and set a bunch of records as a football player, and then he went
Mhm.
to Seattle and he played under his coach Pete Carroll from USC. He gets to play with his college coach in the NFL, and then he
Mhm.
ends up getting an injury in Detroit and whatever. But
Mhm.
he went to the NFL. And then the most handsome was this guy named Daniel Ferris.
Mhm.
You guys know as D Smoke, who won that Netflix, kind of hustle. It was like the hip hop version of American Idol.
Okay.
Yeah, so he won that. And like Daniel, Davion, like there's three Ferris brothers. All of them are recording artists, like the one that graduated with Joey and I, he actually um, walked out like what's his name, Deontay Wilder, when he
Mhm.
fought Tyson Fury. So that's kind of cool, right? So like those two definitely. I'm not to say that I've done anything, but like I'm not even pictured in the yearbook. I miss both days, the makeup day and the actual day, because we were living in a hotel, so
Mhm.
and had a PO box at the airport, so we didn't get there every day. So I missed it. I think I'm in an ROTC picture, and I'm like the size of a pinhead, but
Uh-huh.
that's about it. That's about it.
I
Now,
remember seeing our valedictorian one day at a restaurant.
ooh, okay.
I want to say it was at the Olive Garden.
Wh- What? Olive Garden? Which Olive Garden?
There used to be one in Manhattan Beach. I don't know if you remember that one.
Okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
So the one in Manhattan Beach, and she was dating a friend of mine
Okay,
senior year. They
okay,
graduated. She dropped him for some rando that she met online,
okay. That's what happens. I mean, I feel like that's a common
right?
thing.
So she's
Yeah.
like, yo, I'm out. Drops out of school,
Wow. Okay.
leaves a 4-year scholarship to go with this dude. Dude
Mm,
drops her. She has nothing, does
wow.
nothing.
Nothing.
She's like, so what are you?
Nothing.
So what are you doing? I was like, I'm kind of a electrical designer at a big company, and I was a fuck up in school, and you weren't, and you're shit.
Wow. Okay.
That was
Jesus.
it. That was the end of that conversation. I mean, she left my friend for some dude, and it was my friend, like, so I had to, you know. But I wasn't that mean. I was just like,
I mean, I guess. I mean, there's no haterade on that. Mm,
yeah, no, like, it's not my fault you left
And
for some other.
yeah, exactly. But as we count down to the end of 2022, I am grateful for being friends with Adam Woods. No, I'm grateful for being friends with you, Alex. I enjoy Adam Woods and the Voodoo in the Woods podcast, listening to Fight Pigs. I'm also grateful for Cece, girl that dropped out. Life's a risk, carnal.
Wait a minute, I didn't drop out.
No, the other chick. We're talking
Oh,
about the other chick.
oh, got it.
Calm down,
No,
commentate.
no, no. She
We're
dropped
good.
out of college for some dude.
I
She
mean,
had a full scholarship and dropped out of college for some
oh, I
dude.
know a lot of
So, girl, you
those.
are crazy.
I know a lot of those. But also, okay.
That's
So
too much.
okay, so in terms of notable alumni, right? Um, let's see. Glenn Anderson, that was the 37th Lieutenant Governor of California. Sonny Bono, do you know this? Oh, Claudia just jumped the fuck out. Wow, okay. Man, I know I'm not easy to podcast with, but she just fucking dipped. Alex, I think it was that comment of like I, she's back. She's
What
back.
the fuck did I just do?
I don't know. I think that life's a risk, Carnal. You were like, "Fuck this, Muto."
I was trying to reread Alex's comment, and then I
Okay,
pushed the button.
okay. As we count down to the end of 2022, I'm grateful for being friends with Adam Woods. I'm grateful for you. I enjoy Adam Woods and the Video of the Woods podcast, listening to Fight Picks. I'm also grateful for Cece girl. Cece girl that dropped out. Life's a risk, Carnal. No, he's definitely
No,
talking about the
it
other.
shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that risky.
I mean,
But
risk
then
it for the
also
biscuit.
you're like, but then also you're like in your 20s or starting your 20s, starting life, and everything's so exciting. And
Everything.
let's go for it.
Okay, so speaking of 20s, right?
I was a hot mess. Don't ask me. I don't remember.
No. I mean, man, I married up pretty soon after I turned 20, so there's that. I But speaking of 20s, right? So I told you I had the German class with that gal, and then I went up to
Uh-huh.
Mr. Valach, which is like right upstairs, and I was like, no, I can't do this. They're like, you want to do Spanish? And I was like, I guess. Whatever, right? I was like, well, it's going to be a new teacher. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Not that I gave a damn, right? So it's like, oh, Miss Rivera, right? And I was like, I don't know, a wrestling fan, right? So like there was this big old dude named Ron Rivera, like tough Ron
Uh-huh.
Rivera, that used to like be the guy that got beat by the most famous wrestlers on TV, right? And I was like
Right.
thinking a female version of him, especially since I got the German Afro mullet, whatever,
Uh-huh.
right? So I walked back downstairs. That was two doors away from the German class, right? And I walk in,
Yeah.
and there's like nobody in this class, like nobody in this class. And I
Mm-hmm.
see a girl, and I'm all like, wow, okay. Then she talks, and at the time I had a thing for accents. And she like, I can't remember what she said, but she rolled an R. And I was like, yo, like, where's the teacher?
Don't be
Whatever.
growling at me.
And then she goes, hey, yo soy maestra. And I was like, wait, what? Like, you're the teacher? The fuck? So it turns out this lady, Miss Rivera, she's Puerto Rican, right? Like Puerto Ricana, right? And over there, like the way we graduate high school, they graduate college.
Okay.
So here she is with like a 4-year degree at 20 and gets to teach at Inglewood High.
Right.
I was like, fuck. I have never flunked so hard, because the reason why you flunk is because you get to come back during lunch and practice Spanish with Miss Rivera. And I was like, fuck, like, like, no, like everybody was dating older dudes anyway, right? So I was like, the fuck, I can't compete with that. But like, I get Miss Rivera to myself for like 32 hours, like 3 classes,
Uh-huh.
and somebody fucking snitched. Because the next time I rolled up in fucking Miss Rivera's class, there was 5 other motherfuckers. And I was like, whoa, the fuck? Then I roll up at lunch. Fuck this. Like, fuck the competition. I got here for lunch. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And she'd be like not only roll her R's, but she'd like look at me and in the eyes, and you just like I saw the fucking Isles of Puerto Rico. Oh my god, right?
You're so dumb.
Yeah, so dumb, 100%. So I get
Uh-huh.
to Miss Rivera's at lunch. There's 20 motherfuckers there. What the fuck? The fuck? Like word got out quick. Pre social media, pre everything. Like 5 years before MySpace and
Right,
whatever.
definitely.
And I don't even know what happened with that fucking glass. Maybe I just like ended up failing just for fuck's sake, and But yeah, yeah. I
Mr.
don't know.
Village tried. He said you have to take a language, but you already speak Spanish, so you can't take Spanish. I was like, first of all, I don't even speak Spanish, and I didn't. He's like, but you can't take it because technically you should know Spanish, blah, blah, blah. I said, fine. And
It,
so he gave me French, and I miserably failed French. Like, there's no way to hell I'm going to learn French. I thought I could. There's no way. So I tell Mr. Velaz, I can't. This French is not my shit.
yeah,
It's not my stitch. He's like, fine, put you in Spanish. I felt Spanish because I was like, that Spanish is, I don't know that Spanish
yeah,
because it's proper.
right.
I was like,
Alex loves that story.
so it's proper, right?
Yeah,
So I'm like, Mr. Velaz, I can't do Spanish. He's like, Claudia, you're Hispanic. How do you not know Spanish? I was like, look,
first generation motherfucker. That's how.
come on. I don't know. I can't, I just don't know.
Estados Unidos, motherfucker.
So Mr. Velaz said, I'll make a deal with you. If you come every summer to help out and help recruit and get people into ROTC,
Ah,
you won't need a foreign language.
wow,
Let's do it.
dang.
So I went. Well, first of all, I went to summer school every single year because my dad was so strict that if had I not gone to summer school, I would have been at home cleaning, cooking, helping with my brothers,
Wow, okay.
as most Hispanic people do.
All right.
But because I had to go to do these class, and then I purposely would fail certain classes, so I would have to go to summer school and make them up.
Uh-huh.
Because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be out of in public for the whole 3 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Because again, my dad was extremely strict,
Okay.
and so this was my only way to be out around people was to fail or kind of fail and be like, I think I can do better. Can I just retake this class during the summer? And my dad would be like, of course, like, duh. So
Wow.
all 4 years of my senior of well, 3 years, because all three
That's
years of my high school year, so ninth summer, 10th summer, 11th summer, I did ROTC and I was able to graduate just fine.
What was your best recruiting method?
Yelling at people.
Oh, okay.
I was the asshole.
That was like a simulation of what they would get when they actually joined.
Yeah. And so I was the asshole and they would be like, this little fucking bitch.
See, I mean, I know girls that recruited for ROTC, and
Huh?
I mean, it was definitely tempting, 100%. But I didn't get that way. I see. So I first got into Inglewood High, and I thought I was going to be in band with a lot of the friends that I'd gone to Crozier with, right? Like
Mhm.
middle school with. And then I got hit on by I mean, maybe a person of same sex. And again, like not that there's anything wrong with that, but I didn't know
Just
how to
not your
handle
cup
it.
of tea. Yeah.
I didn't know how to handle it. So I was like, ah, and then I went to Mr. Velach and I was like, can we do something? And then he's like, PE. And I was like, cool. And I can't even remember why I didn't do PE anymore. And then Let's see what else. Oh yeah, and I pretty much went at my wits' end, and like ROTC was the last resort. There were no other classes that I could join for my physical education, and that's how
Right.
I got to. Like, I didn't even get the recruiting. Like, that was just like the last stop. Otherwise, I'd go to like Project Hope, where with all the gangsters and whatever.
I started in junior high. So junior high back in the day was seventh and eighth only, not sixth, seventh, and eighth. But I did seventh grade cheerleading, or seventh grade cheerleading. So I had the whole tay skirt, pom pom shoes, all of that. And then my seventh grade year, they started ROTC, and then wearing my tiny skirt and my pom pom shoes, I looked at ROTC and I was like, I want to do that. I don't want pom pom shoes anymore. So I started ROTC in the seventh grade, then went ninth grade straight into ROTC. So I never had PE ever.
You could have been cheerleader. You could have been a
Yeah.
cheerleader. I
Yeah.
mean, that's fun. That's
Yeah.
fun.
And it was funny because this is the first time that I was a girly girl, and my mom loved it because my mom was such a big girly girl.
Right.
She was very girly. And so this was exciting for her
Yeah.
that I was wearing a skirt and pom poms and doing my hair, and then all of a sudden I see the green and I was like,
Oh wow.
I'm going that way. Sorry.
Oh, that
Never looked back.
okay. I mean, that's definitely a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, it was just like my my dad. I we and Joey can probably remember, but there was a one of our friends, Danny. Want to say it was Danny Rivera? No, Jesus Christ. Why am I? I remember the name for forever, and then now I'm blanking on it. But basically, Danny Verdugo. There you go. Holy shit. Uh,
Rivera was your teacher.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I had. Yeah, that's why I had a, both in my head. But yeah, Daniel Verdugo. He got shot. I want to say like either freshman or sophomore year,
Mhm.
right? And he was just hanging out outside of his apartment, and I was getting into a lot of fights, and my dad thought like, oh, like this could be you, right? So
Right.
I was already in ROTC, and then when I was like, I used to try and quit every event, every I threw my damn Class A jacket down. They'd give me a ribbon, and I'd fucking throw it off. Like I was not the greatest person.
Right.
Um, yeah. So then my dad was like, "If you don't do this, you could die." And I was like, then Danny died, and then yeah, and then there was a couple other people that like got shot by drive by, and I was like, maybe ROTC. You know,
I mean, that's it. Yeah.
yeah, that's all it took.
That's
But it's
crazy.
funny. It's funny to look back at my high school kind of days.
Yeah,
Um,
most definitely.
yeah, cause, well, for I mean, for me, everything was about like being, I guess, attractive to the other sex,
Mhm.
and then never, ever. Like I was always the friend. I was the one that everyone talked to. I got multiple
Uh-huh.
times like, "Hey, I wish my boyfriend were like you, not you, but like you." Yeah, I mean, like if I were to get a
Aww.
tattoo at 16, that would be kind of it, like full on emo. So I mean, I'm actually glad we're because a lot of the dudes that got with the chicks that I liked ended up knocking them up or going to El Camino College or
Hmm.
the military. So, which I thought like the latter was going to be my fate, and then my hearing sucks, so that's why I didn't go to the Air Force. So yeah, I mean that's what you could like summarize my high school life to be.
Yeah, crazy.
What about you?
Yeah, mine's just chill. I was a
Chill.
bully. It was awful. Looking back now, I was a really bad person. I was really terrible to people.
Okay.
Like, really terrible.
Okay.
And so I was like, if I ever had the chance to apologize to people, I probably would.
Oh,
Because that's
do,
how bad I was.
do you have names?
No. And if I, well, yes, but no.
Oh man, I
But I will
feel
tell you a story
okay. Please.
really quick.
All right. Let's
There
see.
was this
We
girl
got time.
that I used to think that she was just ugly.
Mm, okay.
And there was a boy that she used to like
Okay.
that I hung out with at the time and just hung out with. And one day I told her, oh, that I would do her makeup and make her look pretty and take her to meet him. And I made her look like a clown pretty much. She looked shitty.
Oh no.
She was dressed really horribly. And I think he laughed at her.
Wow.
And then not only did he laugh at her, he proceeded to like grab me and then, hold me like really tight.
Wow.
And so she saw all that. And I knew that was going to happen because we were cool. Because, when there's those guys or girls
Right.
that you're always like hugged up with, right? Because it's high school.
Yeah.
And this was one of those guys. And she ran off crying, looking even worse because she had all this ugly makeup on.
Oh God. You get
I was
really.
bad.
That was that. Do you know where she is now?
No. But oddly enough, she was in our OTC. But oddly enough, I
Not in
really
your
liked her
class.
sister.
Wait, like got along with his sister, or you wanted
Yeah,
to?
she was a
Okay.
sweetheart. Loved her. She was nice. She was cool. Loved the sister. Hated her. And she was a
Wow.
year older than me, so she graduated, right?
Yeah.
And then she came in one day in her high heels business suit. I guess she was going for an interview or just came from or had a job. So she wanted to show off that she was looking good and she was like already a graduate and she was no
Yeah.
longer whatever. So I took advantage of that too. And I
Uh
was like, well, it must pay nice to be a whore nowadays. I was like, ladies and
oh.
gentlemen, this is what Inglewood High School shits out in front of
Wow.
you, presented by walking
Wow.
through. Like I did a whole spectacular.
Escandala. Oi,
I was
way.
horrible.
That's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, one. I guess we could say. Okay, I got one last story. All right. So, did they have La Posada when you guys were in school?
Not that I remember.
So Mencha, which was
Oh yeah,
the Spanish language group at
the
Inglewood High.
Mexican group.
Yeah. So they would
Was it
hold.
Mexican, American?
Don't do that to me, because I'm gonna fucking start singing the Cheech and Chong Mex- Mexican
Mexican
American.
American.
God. Okay.
Oh
Anyway,
no, that was an E. Mexican. Is it MECH?
I never
Mecha?
knew. Yeah, it was definitely Mencha, but like all I knew it was like they
It
would
was the
tag
Mexicans.
along with us, like when we went to like Cesar Chavez
Right.
museum, and when we got to be in Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
We were extras in Spider-Man. They tagged along with us. But other
Uh-huh.
than like other than those two things in La Posada, like I don't know what the fuck they did. Sorry, Mecha.
They're just Mexican.
I mean, okay, cool. There might have been a chick that I might have liked.
Let me see if that's Joey. Let me ask Joseph.
Okay, go ahead. Ask me.
Joseph. Joseph.
Oof,
No, he's not. That's not him.
he's not listening. Okay, so I remember there was this particular. No, she was actually my platoon sergeant because I was platoon leader, and
What does
you
Mecha
oh,
stand
okay.
for?
What was that Hispanic thing?
I know it's Mexican, but do you remember what it stands for?
No.
Mexicans everywhere. Cause
Wait,
hell.
but then there's a CHA. Mexicans
Cause
everywhere.
hell.
Cha!
Mexicans everywhere. Cause hell. Ah.
That's even better. So I had a platoon leader. I can't remember which year it was because I was platoon leader to no fault of my own. It wasn't like I was trying to do it. I think there was just fucking. I was the last choice. Like you've already been here 2 years. Fuck it, we'll make you platoon leader.
Right.
So for those who don't know, platoon leaders, like you actually had a class of students and shit, and you
Mhm.
would teach them to fucking walk around and drill, and if they started getting all sassy and shit like that, you gave them a not loaded gun and told them to fucking sit in a squat position for like the whole fucking class.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that was that. So I had a platoon sergeant, like my teacher's assistant, right? And she might have been like, there's a word. There's a word of like people that just like came to this country.
Wet bags.
I mean, no, like if you were on a like in like Polynesian, we would be like off a boat. Like you might be fresh off a boat.
Right.
Okay, so let's say that, right?
But she was fresh off the
No, I mean like
wall.
no. I mean I'm gonna stick with fresh off the boat, especially like there's a TV show literally called Fresh Off the Boat. I think I'm good, right?
Right.
So this chick I thought hated me. Like everything that I would do, I'd be like, you guys, you class, march this way. And she'd be like, no, no, no. And use her fucking position to like not and always try to make me look like a fucking fool or whatever the fuck,
Mhm.
right? Because she knew I didn't really give a shit. And it mattered to her. Like her parents would come whenever she'd get a ribbon. I'd just like fucking fling them in the air or whatever. So there is a particular La Posada, and I can't remember what year it was because I only went to one,
Mhm.
right? And like I was very timid. I would like go up to a chick and go, "Hey, want to dance?" That wasn't me. Like if I liked a girl, right? What I do is write a
Run the
note.
other way.
No, not quite that, but I would write a note. Do you like me? Yes or no? Hand it to my friend, and then my friend would end up with the fucking girl. Son of a bitch. Damn it!
Hey, this
Not
girl has good penmanship. Let me use this.
so. So here, wait, yeah. So here we are, La Posada,
Mhm.
and they're playing like like the music. It might have been in Espanol. The fucking DJ strobe lights are on. It was fucking dark. Whatever. But this
Mhm.
chick who I'd been like fucking kind of eyeing, but again, still timid, right?
Mhm.
Like to, like go up to her and be like, hey, you want to dance? Or I think you're cute, or stuff like that. Because I didn't want
Mhm.
her to go the R and the ape, right? So that was my thing. I was like, ah, no, they didn't turn me down. They were just gonna, scream out the R and the ape, right? So this girl like literally grabs me like from behind, right, and like leads me. Like my hand is over her shoulder, and she is like, dude, like, I mean, it's kind of skin on skin. If there wasn't whatever I was wearing, whatever she was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're dancing the whole night, and I was like, "Who is this chick?" Like, oh man, I think I could get her number. Like, this could be something.
Mm-hmm.
We could be boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, I was so naive. Maybe we'll hold hands. Maybe. So, last song of the night, La Posada, dance, slow dance, and she smells great. After like,
Wait, you
shit,
never saw her face the whole time?
no, because she had makeup, and then the strobe lights, and and if the strobes weren't on us, you couldn't see. And there was even like a smoke machine, or it could have been like fucking teenage must, whatever the fuck. Okay, so what essentially happens is last song happens, and like we're dancing close, like slow dancing. Lights turn on, and it's my fucking platoon sergeant that I thought hated me. And then I just remember walking home just so fucking confused. I was like, how is that the same person? Like you seem
Because
so
she
fun
liked
at
you.
yeah, and I
She
didn't
liked
know
you so much she hated you.
yeah, and I didn't know what to do with it. It just made it weird the rest of the year because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know whatever. And like after Lapis, like it was like a fucking hood ass Cinderella story. Like the fucking shit turned back into a pumpkin and
Yeah.
whatever, and life just continued on the way that it whatever. But then every so often she'd give me a look, and I never knew if that's like, hey, maybe make a move, fuckhead,
Mm-hmm.
or if she was gonna scream the R and the ape.
Right.
So yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, Tales from the Wood. That's what we should have
There you
titled this
go.
thing. 100%.
That is
Uh, Before we go, do you have any resolutions? Do you do those?
no, I do not do resolutions because you just there's no planning.
Yeah,
I
hundred
think my
percent.
resolution since the passing of my mom has been
I
just live
like that.
life,
I like that.
just hour by hour, minute by minute, day by day, whatever you need to do, just live it up,
Yeah, man. I
enjoy
like
it.
it.
Yeah.
I've said this the last couple of years because going into 2020, a lot of people said this, and I've made it my vow to continue on with this. But people in 2019 would say, "Hey, 2020 is going to be my year." And you know what happened 2020? We fucking that's a lost like fucking 2 years.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, my New Year's resolution, if I see anybody or see anybody post, 2023 is going to be my year. Punching them in the fucking face. How about that?
Why?
Because I don't want to lose another fucking 2 years like I did in 2020.
Well, that's not our fault. We
Yes, it
weren't
is.
prepared to lose 2 years in 2020.
We was only supposed to be
And
two
and
to flatten the
and
curb.
regardless of whatever happened in 2021 and 22, it could have still been your year.
Okay, what does your mean? What does that mean to you?
Anything you want it to be.
Okay. Okay.
Doesn't necessarily have to be your year to like, I don't know, fucking make $1 million or make a baby. It could just be your year. I'm gonna say 2021 and 22 were my years because I had two babies that I
Okay.
didn't know that I could have.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah. I was told at the age of 18 that I couldn't have kids, and look at me now. I have two.
See,
So, without knowing, 2021 and 22 has been my year. Even
okay,
though in 21 I lost my mother,
yeah,
but it still has been my year.
no, 100%.
So, you can't punch anyone in the face.
Okay, yeah, no, and I'm not the guy. I'm the person. I'm gonna say like I'd punch you in the face, but like really, I'm gonna just hug you, and you're like, "What's wrong with
This
you?
guy
What's
just punched
yeah,
me in the face already. No,
yeah, I know. I will hug her.
no,
I'd actually
2023. I think I'm looking just forward to just just raising the
awesome.
kids and being around family. I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely like the last 72 hours have taught me family more, so I'm definitely gonna do that. But you said
Yeah.
like $1 million, and you also said baby, right? So
Yeah.
maybe my New Year's resolution is to either watch the movie $1 Million Baby or make $1 million, baby. So one of those, one of those. That's my New Year's resolution.
Let me know when you finish watching the movie.
Cool. All right, Claudia.
No, yeah. No,
Um,
yeah. I think 2023. Let's go. We're ready.
okay, cool.
We
Um,
survived 21. We survived 21 and 22.
yep. And also, I guess a little bit of housekeeping. Woods and Wade is getting its own social media channels and stuff
Yeah,
like that going into 2023. So this might be the last one on the According to Woods channels.
definitely.
Yeah, so I mean that's exciting.
Yeah,
Um, but for those who want to follow you into 2023, where can they do such a thing?
I am. Is there an underscore there?
Nope.
Huh. I'm at CC underscore 272 on Instagram and Twitter. How come it didn't show it this time? That's
It's
weird.
did you are able to type the nameplate?
No, I know, but I've never changed it from
Okay.
the last couple of weeks. Boom, there it is.
Okay.
At CC underscore 272 on Twitter
Okay.
and
Good.
on the Instagram machine.
All right. And
So
I guess I'm According to Woods. You can find me exactly how it says there on everything except for Twitter, where it's Adam K Woods. I don't know why it's different, but yeah, man, Woods and Wade closing out
in
2022.
2023.
Yes, you guys have a kick ass, and we'll see you in the